welcome to I115.5, the bucket list, Cape Breton. This is Monday, March 8th. Yep, pretty sure, Monday, March 8th. So today, I'm going to finish that story. The bullet hole in the foot story. And I'm going to do it first, so I don't get any more people pissed off that I never got around to finishing it one more friggin' day. So, let me just get comfy. Although it hasn't heated up in here yet, so it's not that friggin' warm. Bear, what's your problem? I haven't made toast yet. Yeah, I'm keeping this hat on. Okay, so. Oh, there we are. So anyway, the guy comes in. I obviously touched the trigger. It went off and blew a hole right through my foot, my shoe, the floor, into the basement. Now, contrary to popular belief, most people, and they show on TV that it hurts like a bastard right off the top. Well, it didn't. It took, several minutes before the nerve endings figured out that something drastic had happened, and, then whatever it is that rushes to try to stop things started happening. But the second you do it, I didn't even realize I'd done it, apart from the noise, and I looked down and saw all the blood, because it was bleeding really, really bad. And of course, because of all the blood, I couldn't see. And my toes were still there, but, I had a look. Anyway, I wrapped it all up in a great big towel out of the bathroom and called the police. So, okay, I called the ambulance. Then the ambulance said, what happened? I said, shot myself. So, of course, because it was a gun thing, then all the police were involved. Well, remember, we're talking, this is before Tanya was born. So it was 1976. Yep, 1976, Halloween. And of course, it being Halloween, there's a lot of things going on. The kids are getting hurt, and there's fireworks, and there's stuff. But I guess when you say gunshot wounds, the cops come by the droves. Maybe they didn't have too many interesting people they had to go chase that night or whatever. Anyway, I don't remember how many cars, but I mean, sirens, cars coming, and the ambulance, of course. And even then, I sort of lived way up the top of the mountain, and they call it a mountain. Anyway, in Hamilton, way at the back, across from an old dairy farm and stuff. So, it's I'm sort of in the middle of nowhere. So even if I had shot in a lot of different directions, anyway, so the cops come, and unfortunately for me, the sergeant in charge is a big old Scotsman. So he's pretty dour and not exactly enlightened, and I was still mouthy even then, go figure. So anyway, he I've been talking and no sound. Anyway, so of course all the cops come rushing in, and the gun that I used was Walther P38 semi-automatic, so it's got a blowback action, and there are 9 bullets held in the whatever the hell, the clip. So after I'd shot, of course it automatically blows back and is ready to be fired again. So these guys figured that I was, honest to God, this man thought that I was trying to commit suicide. Now who in their fucking right mind tries to commit suicide by working from your foot up? You'd never get there, because by the time you hit your knee, you would have changed your mind. Anyway, so there's a lot of guns and stuff in the house, and the cops round it all up, because, there's FNC ones. It's stuff that Barnes had accumulated over years, I guess, because he picked up this here and there. There was no gun registration or anything then, but I'm pretty sure he had, he had stuff that said he owned them and shit. But anyway, so they take everything. And I'm talking to this cop, and, I'm telling him about this guy that comes in, and the cop says to me, well, if you'd have shot him, I'd have had to put you in jail. He said he would actually have had to physically harm me first before I would have been allowed to shoot him. I said, what the fuck good would that have done me then? I'd have been dead on the thing. The man told me he was coming. He showed up. Sure as fuck, he's obviously got something bad in mind. And I'm going to say, oh, sure, come on in. No. I was going to shoot him. Or at least shoot at him. You know, and I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so they took everything and, of course, took me to the hospital. So it took a long time before the guy that makes you look pretty again once they plastic surgeon showed up because he had some other things. So, but this time, yeah, of course, I'm really sore. But you know, they're giving you stuff, so he sewed it all up nice and good, and you know, didn't hurt. So anyway, I had to call his mom and dad because he was away for the weekend, and they came and got me. Just so happened they were podiatrists. Anyway, doesn't matter. So when Barnes got home, he had no guns, and the police had taken everything, and of course wanted to talk to him. So anyway, he managed to get them all back. Needless to say, he wasn't too fucking thrilled. Anyway, so then he used to charge a quarter if you wanted to see his buddies. He charged him a quarter if you wanted to see the hole in my foot, or $1 if you wanted to see the hole in the shoe in the floor. So anyway. But the funny thing was, and after that I joined the militia and learned to shoot because, you know, it's just too stupid. You got to learn to. Anyway, so I did. But the thing that Wuzzy was alluding to that never, you know, left me is when I finally went in to have Tanya in the hospital. Well, believe me, your records are never expunged and people write things in places. And even if you're going to have a baby, which has absolutely nothing at all to do with going to shoot people, the nurses were looking under my my bed, under my mattress, and under my pillows and stuff. And I said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Well, you know, there's a note here on your file that you may have a gun in the room." Anyway, hey, so who knows? Probably to this day, you know, if somebody shows up here, you know, they may be looking for a gun. Anyway, okay, so that was that story, and really, if I told it all at once, it would have been a lot of fun and happy, and now you're all pissed off because, you know, it wasn't really much of a fucking ending. Anyway, I wanted to talk to thee about one of my favorite old horses. Can you see him? That's Skipper. That's the big blind appy that I tell you about sometimes. That's Tanya and I on him and Ed holding him. We did that for a Christmas card one time. I got him out in Victoria. He didn't look like that when I got him. He was an ex-pony horse, which means he was on the track on Vancouver, at the track there, and the girl that owned him just, well, he was already blind in one eye when he came, so it was getting pretty hard for him to do his job. Anyway, that's him, and this is a picture of Tanya and I on her little thoroughbred that one of the vets that I worked for, he wasn't much for racing, so Tanya got him, and as you can see, way back then, even then we wore purple, but that's Skipper, Jesse, Tanya and I down at the Souk Saddle Club. This is one of Skipper and I out just having a good time. And you'll notice that outfit he's got on, that bridle. Well, I used to put away stuff and keep it for good or whatever, you know, you cleaned it up, hung it up, didn't ever use it. Well, I decided, what the hell is the point in that? And so I decided it was, you know, I was going to start using it on him. And this is it. Now, I don't know if you can see the work in this. And brass. Oh, fuck. It's too high. This has got a beautiful brass bit. And I think it's, now, I'm not sure Hungarian, but look, can you see it? Isn't that amazing? It's pretty cool. And it's in the big brass. Anyway, I think you can see it better on them in this picture. Can you see that picture of him and I? Anyway, and I was thinking about him today because you know how sometimes you get If you're lucky, you get... Oh, fuck.